Let's get high.
Hello, cadets. This is General Lemuel T. Howitzer, retired, and this is the big monster briefing room. I know you probably noticed I'm wearing a blue shirt. We are doing the movie Forbidden Planet. It's got a pocket on it. I can put my name tag. And they were kind of blue uniforms, so I thought, in deference to that, I would wear this, and my aquatic cap that I usually wear for aquatic monster movies. Let me bring up my able-bodied assistant, Master Sergeant Major Havoc.
President accounted for.
So this has an interesting cast. Not a big cast, mind you, but an interesting cast. It's basically Walter Pidgeon as Dr. Morbius, Anne Francis as his daughter Altera, and then a crew coming in on an Earth-made flying saucer, which is an interesting choice because usually we use rocket ships, not flying saucers. And this is a flying saucer. And that group is led by none other than Leslie Nielsen, who went on, of course, to do TV and movies, and he's the captain in Poseidon Adventure. And he became Frank Drebin and started doing comedy movies. Police. Was it Naked Gun?
The Naked Gun, yeah. Police Squad on the TV, Squad. Yeah. So, this was during his when he was a serious actor.
Yes. A lot of people make fun of the over-the-top performances of this, but it works. This is kind of a weird scientific or sci-fi version of The Tempest by Shakespeare. Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. That's a long stretch there. But again, we have Warren Stevens plays the Doc. We have Richard Anderson, who goes on to play Oscar Goldman in The $6 Million Man. He's on board as the chief. Cookie is played by Earl Holliman, who goes on to, policewoman. So again, an interesting cast. Mm-hmm. And I want to say it's also the first appearance of Robbie the Robot, who has become iconic as the definitive robot. That and the robot from Lost in Space. Mm-hmm. Now, Robbie was played by Frankie Darro. That was who was in the suit. The voice was done by Marvin Miller. So I was giving myself an oil job. Great lines. Mm-hmm. The stuff, sir. So let's go ahead and get into our timeline. It was a short film. And again, it was like drive-in fare, on a whole different level. The budget on this went way over what they were hoping to pay for it. Mm-hmm. And it's slick. This is the Star Wars of its day. Mm-hmm. And it certainly influenced George Lucas and other people later on down the line.
Oh yeah. The Star Trek, all these, yeah.
Was done digitally. It was done electronic music, all electronic music, which was first.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a big influence on Star Trek and all them shows. Yep.
It's Lost in Space. I guess they couldn't get Bernard Herrmann to do the music.
No, I guess not. Well, I think they wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
And it's very different.
Yes. Okay, so we start out with a spaceship, which is a flying saucer that's out there in the middle of space, flying towards a planet. The planet's name is Altair, right?
Yeah, Altair. Mm-hmm. And the ship
Name,
is the
yep,
ship's the C-57D
that's
Galactic Cruiser.
this ship here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Dr. Morbius crash lands, or they land on this planet. Him and his group, the entire group is gone now, except for him and his daughter.
Right. The crew of
So
the Bellerophon.
there you go. So here we see the guidance system of our flying saucer.
Now, this ship and this set was reused in a lot of other TV shows. They used it a lot on the Twilight Zone.
Oh, okay. And then we meet the captain, played by Leslie Nielsen. These spacesuits that they wear, which are, I want to say retro, but that's not really the word for them. I mean, they look futuristic, but they don't look too over the top, you know. But they use these suits in other sci-fi films as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, as they get close to the planet that they're going to, where they're going to inspect and see what happened to the crew of the ship that was there, and here they go into like a suspended animation as they come out of hyperspace, I guess. Hyperdrive. I get very futuristic stuff. You know, very cool to kids back in the 50s, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, studio. Yeah, they decided they were going to do this one. It wasn't going to be black and white and low budget. They put some money into it.
They did go way over beyond what the studio wanted to pay for it, though.
Oh,
it made its money back. It made its money back, and then some. But yeah, they put in more money than they really had expected to. So as they get close to the planet, they make a kind of a call to see if there's anybody there, and sure enough, they get an answer. Dr. Morbius answers. I can't remember if he says who it is, but he answers. He says, basically, you don't need to come over here. Go away. Go home.
Yeah. No, yeah, he identifies himself, but yeah, he's like,
yeah,
do not land on this planet, or something like that.
Yeah, you'll put yourself in grave danger, blah, 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 blah.
Yep. And of course, Captain's like, forget that. We're coming down.
Yeah. Come on. We came too far to turn around. We're coming down. Check out the planet. Come see it.
Which, I mean, you can definitely see Captain Kirk doing that.
The fact that he ends up with the daughter definitely seems to, I mean, Kirk definitely fits into that pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fooling around the galaxy.
Yep. Yeah, Captain here, his name is Adams, J.J. Adams.
Right. Adams. You know, it's funny that on the IMDb, it doesn't give their first names. It just says Commander Adams, Lieutenant Doc Ostro. And I know they say that because one of the guys' names is Jerry. I think it's the Lieutenant Farman. I think he's Jerry, right? Jerry Farman.
Yes,
Played by Jack Kelly. And he's the one that's, hitting on Altera. And then the captain's like, yeah, get away from her. And what's funny is it's not because the captain is interested in her in the beginning. That happens later. He's concerned because she's a youngin, she's in her upper teens, and this guy's taking advantage of her innocence,
Yeah.
But later, it turns out that she's kind of attracted to the captain or the commander. Maybe because he, wasn't into her at first, And again, we started to get a mutual. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll go along with this.
Yeah. That's one thing, looking at it from now perspective. I mean, you got this all male, all white crew, and of course the captain makes a point about that. It's like, well, you can't be kissing everybody because I mean, you got this whole ship full of guys who ain't seen a gal in however many months, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, very, very 1950s
Yeah.
for something set in the future. But
And
anyway,
he talks about how she wears such little clothes and stuff like
yeah,
that.
she was way ahead of her time with the mini skirts and everything.
Oh, yeah. So they go down to the planet. And again, the special effects on this were so above anything else at the time.
Mm-hmm.
The matte paintings on this and the spaceship and the sets and Robbie. Oh my God, Robbie is off the chain.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have this great landing scene.
Yeah.
And again, just a great choice to go with a flying saucer because the spaceships, the flying saucers of the time that, people were taking photos of supposedly and all, that was all Martian stuff. Oh, it must be the Martians at that time. That was what everybody was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And again, what we put into space 10 years later was rockets,
Yep.
It wasn't a spherical spaceship. Anyway, so they get off the ship. And again, these are kind of normal looking uniforms. They look futuristic enough, but they're normal kind of uniforms. So you kind of dig the fact that they went for kind of science fact instead of science fiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They do have blasters.
Well, yeah, you gotta have blasters.
Laser blasters.
Yep. And this set took up a whole soundstage.
Correct. This was one of the things that made their budget go so high. Because really, there's not a lot of sets. I mean, there's a couple of sets in Morbius's house, and then you've got this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of they gave a lot of good information to later shows and movies that would come after.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure I told this on the show, this story before, but I think it was CBS. Yeah, CBS called in Gene Roddenberry to talk about his space show. And he gave them all the information. I mean, he gave them everything. Okay, well, you can minimize, by having some sets that will be your spaceship. You're going to be on the spaceship most of the time. You can have minimal sets for when you go down on the ground for space. You can shoot outdoors for that in some cases. It's all about the characters. You got to have strong characters. I mean, he gave them everything. And they said, okay, we'll be in contact. And then they went off and did Lost in Space using all of his ideas. And he ended up waiting another year or two before he could get Star Trek off the ground, I think with NBC.
Yep.
And again, that was through Desilu Productions and, Lucy and Desi, and who also started up Mission Impossible. So they're responsible for some of the pretty cool shows of the 60s. Anyway, I digress. So here comes Robbie blazing in super fast in his robot car. He's kind of like an Uber.
Anyway, yeah.
I never thought about that until just now, but yeah, he's kind of like a sci-fi Uber.
Exactly, yeah, because he tells him, "Oh, yes, Doctor Morbius has sent me to pick you up."
This is your limousine, guys. Strap yourselves in. Because yeah, he drives fast. So the Admiral and Doc and Jerry decide to go to Dr. Morbius's house to see what's going on. So I would love to have seen the ride. How these guys reacted to the super fast ride that Robbie gave them to the house and back. That would have been too comical, I guess. There is some fine layered comedy in this. Some of it's tongue in cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Even in the future. Kind of like Seth MacFarlane's The Oscar. Even though it's sci-fi and it's in the future, there is some comedy to be had. More in the first season than the later seasons, but
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, the Orville.
Orville. What did I say?
He said the Oscar.
The Orville. Yes, sorry about that.
That's all right.
The Oscar. What the hell did I get that from? So that's the first thing that goes is your brain. Get my age. All right, so they go to the house there, and it's again a nice little matte painting of a futuristic looking house that Dr. Morbius built. And later he built Robbie, and Robbie built probably the rest of it. He probably built the shack, and Robbie turned it into this. Mm-hmm. Robbie can do anything. So they meet Morbius, and he's not happy to see him. He's like, I really wish you had taken my advice and not come down here. It's dangerous. We don't need any help, but it's dangerous for you to be here. And he doesn't really explain that much as to why he doesn't want them there and why it's dangerous. But he shows them his place, his crib. They are fascinated by Robbie, of course. And he explains, the process of, making a robot. And the robot can do pretty much anything. It's got a computer brain, and it is programmed not to harm animals or people. So unlike the AI of today, which we worry about, Robbie is programmed not to do that. I guess AI today, though, would figure out how to override its own programming.
Yeah. Now, I don't remember, because I know Asimov came up with the 3 laws of robotics, and I don't remember if it was before. I think it was before Forbidden Planet, so they probably took it from Asimov.
Well, robots, which are basically walking tin cans, were in serials and shorts and movies beforehand.
Oh yeah.
They've always been fascinating. I mean, right as far back as Metropolis, Fritz Lang.
Right. Yeah.
And even I'm guessing even before they talked about robots and servants made out of metal and that kind of thing. But of course, computers didn't really evolve to the point where you could probably get to that until the 1950s. Mm-hmm. That's my guess. Maybe the late 40s, but everything was like tubes and like television innards. Right. So yeah, even now with Robbie being the way he is here, I don't think they were capable of doing anything like that at the time. It was, it's all future, but yeah, I believe Asimov wrote I, Robot before this, so it certainly was probably an influence. So to prove his point, he takes the blaster from the captain or the commander, like they're at sea. Come on, it's not a naval it's not a naval movie. Gosh darn it. Anyway, they take the blaster from the commander, and he goes, fire at the egg commander. And of course, the other guy's like, hey, and he's like, no, settle down. Because he understands, I guess, what Morbius is trying to prove. And sure enough, yeah, it looks like his circuits are going haywire there. And he says, stop the program, whatever. You don't have to hurt him. And then it stops. And he goes, if I'd have let that go on for another minute, all of his circuits would have blown.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So again, they have to wonder, what are they in danger from? And he doesn't tell them.
Mm-hmm.
He's just saying, look, I'm satisfied here. I'm happy here. By, doing the work that I do is for me, and I don't need your rescuing. Mm-hmm. And I think this is, no, This is when he shows that he's safe because he's got this outer door security system that Robbie built for him with sheet metal wrapped around the place. So he goes, so I'm perfectly safe here from anything outside that could harm us. And they ask him basically what he's been, up to the last couple of decades. And I can't remember if he tells them about the Krell here or not.
No, I don't think they find out about the Krell until later, because he's still trying to get him the heck off the planet.
Yeah, the Krell are the inhabitants of the planet before he got there.
Yeah, now he's just explaining what happened to the rest of the expedition or the party.
Yeah,
So, yeah, something killed him, and it's just me. And then Altira shows up.
Yeah,
because he wasn't mentioning his daughter till she pops up.
She shows up because, hey, it's raining men. She's never seen a guy, except her dad.
Yeah.
So she's like, ooh, I just thought I'd check out the buffet. And they're like, oh. So, yeah, big surprise here.
Yep, they're all standing up.
Yes, indeed. They're all at attention.
They're all at attention.
So, I mean, it's an awkward moment, and the doctor has to introduce his child, his little girl, to the wolf pack that's come to the front door. And they continue talking. And Jerry Farmer, Lieutenant Jerry Farman, I'm sorry. I wanted to say Farber. It's Farman. Cognitive decline. He shows particular interest in her. He's a younger crewman.
Mm-hmm.
And so she takes him over to her little jungle area that she's got, her little oasis. As the other two are more interested in what Dr. Morbius has to say.
Yeah, he's all like, hi there.
Yeah. Well, hey, baby. So, yeah, she's showing him like a kid showing him a room,
Mm-hmm.
And there's, wild animals and stuff. And she's like a princess, because all the animals come up to her. And then there's a tiger.
Yeah.
A tiger in space. So basically the commander says, look, we got to stay here for a couple of days and kind of check things out. And Morbius is against it. He's like, yeah, I really wish you would go. And they're like, well, we got to stay, it's part of the protocol. We got to, check out the surrounding area, and, we'll be in touch. And she is ecstatic about meeting new people because she's never met anybody except her dad.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's got at least 3 other guys she can talk to, who are different, And so they go back to the ship, and
But I don't know if at this point they start setting up a perimeter. Or, I think that comes later. But
yeah.
Well, it's like something happens to their engine or something, and so they're having to fix it.
That actually happens on the first night, right?
Yeah.
The creature from the id, which is an invisible creature created by Morbius, Dr. Morbius, whose mental and psychic abilities have been enhanced by a machine that the Krell used for that purpose. In any case, So yeah, they're studying around. They're getting soil samples. Whatever they can from the planet, the island, the planet, rocks, soil samples. Seeing if there's rare minerals that they might need, they can take back with them. And Altera shows up. Hi guys. And again, some of the men are very fascinated by Robbie,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them are fascinated by Altera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the commander tells her, just don't get in our way, okay? We're real busy, and they have a magnet thing, and they do a little shtick with Cookie, who's got some pots and pans in his back pocket, and he's
the comedy. He's the comedy relief. He's the serious comedy relief. Yep.
It's supposed to be. So again, they're doing studies. They're trying to be businesslike about it all.
Yeah.
But they're also out there on the other side of the rocks.
Oh my goodness. Yep. Well, they're having to cannibalize some of their equipment to fix their engines or something too. No, actually, it's Cookie behind the rocks with Robbie.
Cookie's gone on the other side of the rocks with Robbie because he wants to ask him if he can make some scotch.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff, he calls it, and the robot is like, the stuff, and then he explains what it is, and he gives the robot, or the robot takes his bottle of scotch, and it's like his last one, and he pours some into his, little opening that he opens up there. He analyzes it, and he goes, how much would be sufficient, sir? And he goes, oh, I don't know. And he goes, it's an ungodly sum, would 50 gallons or not even more than that. It's would 200 gallons be sufficient? I can't remember what the exact number was, but it's like bottles and bottles and bottles of the stuff. And that's a funny sight gag later. He goes, wow, you're the best friend a guy could ever have. And he hits him on the side and ow. And Jerry's he's making time with Altera. He tries to kiss her. She at first doesn't seem to understand what that's all about. She's not getting anything from Jerry. And from the move, he tries again and again. It's kind of cringeworthy now, in today's time. It's kind of pedo because she is very young.
Yeah.
And he is taking advantage of her. I mean, there's no doubt about that. So I think it's supposed to be comical, but now it's just kind of cringeworthy.
Yeah, now it's like, yeah, nope.
And the commander shows up, and he's like, all right, Jerry, go to your post. And the commander gives her a speech, very father-like. He's like, look, you don't even understand, what you're doing here and those clothes. And she's like, what's wrong with my clothes? And she gets all flustered and frustrated because he's not coming on to her like the other guys are. And it's because, he's a gentleman, he's a good guy. He's not going to take advantage of her. And at first she's like really upset and pissed off and angry about it. But then later, gets under her skin that, well, what's wrong with me? What did I not do right for him? And so she goes back and she tells her father what happened. And this certainly gets the id monster going. He doesn't like the fact that Jerry is making moves on his daughter. And she mentions, the commander give her a speech and talk about how she dressed, and he's so frustrating, and why would he be like that? Why would he talk to me like that? So there it is. Now her father knows what's going on, and he, again, as any father would be, he would be upset. So then she goes to Robbie and she says, "Make me a dress. It's longer, more ornate. Covers everything." Because she wants to impress the commander. She doesn't want him to be upset with her. She likes him, I guess.
Mhm.
or it's like girls want what they can't have. Especially back in this time, that was common. You know, why don't we go for the guys that we don't want, or that we can't have, that kind of thing. Anyway, she gives Robbie a nice little hug, hugging a robot, and bops off.
And Robbie's like, what? What do these humans have that I don't?
I could tell you, but you'd probably just make it and attach it. Um, that reminds me of Flesh Warden, the porno that they did in the 70s with the robots running around. Anyway, I digress. I was going to say something there and you sidetracked me with the robot joke. So anyway, yeah, she bops off, and he says it's going to take me time to make the synthetic diamonds for the outfit. Yeah, he's going to do it up right. Going to put all kinds of gems and stuff on it to make it look really nice. So here we have the attack on the engine of the ship, so they can't leave. And again, this comes from Dr. Morbius's subconscious. He wants them to leave because he doesn't want them to, be there, and he doesn't want them to die. But his subconscious monster, the id monster, decides, yeah, I'm going to cripple this ship so it can't get away, so I can come back and kill them one at a time. So that's the first night they get an attack from the id monster, which is invisible. And it destroys a part of their engine that they need, like a guidance system, I think. And these poor schmoes, they didn't see it because it was invisible. And they're getting, reamed out royally by the commander. Puts them all on report. So, again, he's not happy that they're in the situation they're in. And he talks to the Chief Quinn, played by Richard Anderson, and he says, you think you can fix it? And he's like, no, I don't think so. I might be able to. He goes, it might take a couple of days. Let me see what I can, dig up in parts and see what I can do. And here we have a scene where they're going to go back out to talk to Morbius and explain to him that the ship is crippled now, and that something attacked the ship. And Jerry goes head to head. He goes, "Oh, I'll come with you." And the commander's like, "Nah, I don't think so." And Jerry gives him like a, "Oh, I see," one of those deals. We'll have a good time, Commander. He thinks the commander's trying to make time on his girl. There's a little sticky shtick with a monkey coming over from the forest area there and trying to grab some fruit off the fruit platter. And then Robbie zaps him. He can't kill, but he can zap. He can zap the ass of a monkey. That's for damn sure. So they drive up, or I guess they walked over.
No, they have like this weird crane thing. That's what this is.
Oh,
here.
okay. They took the crane. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. So they didn't take Robbie's Uber.
No, they don't have access to the Uber.
So Robbie's like, well, I'm told not to admit you, gentlemen. I'm a butler and I'm doing my job. I'm not supposed to admit anybody, without, Dr. Morbius telling me it's okay. And then Dr. Morbius shows up and goes, oh, no, it's okay. Let him in. Or no. He goes to get Dr. Morbius' permission. And then the commander walks over to Altera's little area there, her little oasis, and she's skinny dipping. And he's like, oh, what? Oh, wow. he's like, he's a gentleman. He's not going to take advantage of the situation. He's like, well, I'm going to go over here. And she goes, oh, okay, I'll put on something so you're not so uncomfortable. And she goes, our little talk the other day, I don't know why you were so upset with me. I didn't get it. I didn't understand, but I did make something for you. And he's like, oh, wow. And again, this is where they start to like each other. And she comes out and she's got a nice little gown on that covers up her legs, and it's got nice gems on it and everything. She looks good, and she looks tasteful. And she also looks older because she's not wearing the skinny the miniskirt outfits, So she's got her hair up, and she looks older. She looks more mature. So yeah, they have a little bonding moment here. And he kisses her. He plants one on her. And this time she gets something from it because she starts to kiss him back. So evidently, yeah, she likes him. She didn't like Jerry. And then the tiger shows up and starts snarling. And she goes, oh, no, it's okay. And then the tiger jumps at him, and he has to zap it and disintegrate it with his ray gun. And she goes, he's never done that before. And he's like, well, things have kind of changed, I think. So nice little supportive hug there. Sorry I killed your tiger. So he comes back over to Doc, and they say, hey, you know what? Why don't we go over and check out the Doc's lab, or the Dr. Morbius's study over here? And they do. They find some information about the Krell. And he comes in and catches them, and he's like, the silverware is here, and he makes some snide remark, about, okay, well, if you're going to be thieves and, desecrate my territory, I'm going to be a smart ass about it. Again, you got to realize his intelligence is way above, what our geniuses are on our planet. We're going to find out in a minute why. So he goes, okay, gentlemen, well, since you've gotten this far and you have a lot of questions about it, I'm sure I'm going to take you to show you something about the inhabitants of this planet that were here before us. And the doorways are kind of, they're kind of like like a pentagon, except kind of more triangle. Actually, they're kind of lower, which shows us that the Krell were probably like the id monster in this movie. They were probably kind of like rectangular with two legs, kind of like Huey, Dewey, and Louie from what was that Bruce Dern movie?
Oh, Silent Running.
Silent Running, yeah. So they probably walked around on two legs, and they were squat little creatures, and or squat fat big creatures maybe, but they were very intelligent. And it's because they had a machine that they hook themselves up to that increases their intelligence, but it also increases their kind of like their telepathic ability. But I don't think that that even Morbius really understands fully that yet. I think he figures it out, but not just yet, because he hasn't had to deal with the id monster himself all that much. I mean, it killed it killed all the other people in his crew, but doesn't harm him or Altera, or it hasn't harmed him or Altera in decades. So he hooks himself up to it and shows them, and he goes, the first time I hooked myself up to this, I was in a coma for like 3 days. It did such damage to me. Any normal person with a normal IQ, it probably would have killed him. But he goes, because of my high intelligence, I was able to survive. And now I can hook up to it on a normal basis. And he creates a little hologram there. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. And ironically, he looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi there in his brown with his beard. Never thought about that. Oh, there it is. So yeah, they're fascinated by the fact that he's able to do this. And the doc actually tries to hook into it, and he stops him. He goes, no, it's lethal. It'll and then he explains the coma thing and how it, he can do it now because his IQ has been boosted without incident, but it would be fatal. So don't do it. And he explains that the Krell, for some reason, unknown reason, they died out. He's not sure why, but they all died out. And they left behind this huge underground cavernous place with machinery, big, huge machinery, and it's all still operational. It's all powered. It's all still operational, and he has access to it. He doesn't really need to use it, but there it is. So he takes him on a little monorail trip.
Mm-hmm. Well, before all that, he does let him try the brain machine, and the doctor, and it's got like this thing that kind of goes up, and the doctor gets up there, and the captain barely gets up there, and Mobius says, "Well, I guess you don't need brains to be a commander."
Again, fine comedy layered in this. It is at the right places. Even a good drama, there's usually some comedy layered in, to kind of ease the tensions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can see how way far down, all of this, and this is all matte paintings, but very well done, and some animation to make it look like it's alive, it's real. There was a Disney animator that worked on this. He created the id monster and the animation for the ray guns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on loan to MGM from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like Industrial Light and Magic, do all the special effects for the Star Wars movies and the Spielberg movies now.
Yep.
He's showing them the power source. And the gauges are not all lit up. It takes a lot to boost those to where they can run all the way up to power, the entire place. And he says, you see, there's only a couple of dials here that are lit up. So anyway, they set up that night. They set up a fence, a perimeter, a laser perimeter,
mm-hmm.
to try to stop whatever it is that snuck into their camp the night before. And Cookie has to go out, and he goes, "I'm just gonna go out and come back in. Just gotta get some spices for the cooking, yeah." And he goes out, and Robbie has a huge amount of scotch on the other side of the rocks here for Cookie. Look at all those bottles.
Now, they don't. I mean, they pay off the joke, but then you don't see all this ever again. This is like the last.
No, it's like, how did Cookie load it all onto the ship?
Exactly.
Without them knowing.
Did he tell them, like, I got shitloads of booze over here?
I got scotch for everybody. So Robbie's good by him.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes back, and then we see the footprints, the invisible creature making the footprints.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes back in, I guess. It does zap when it goes through the fence, and the guy notices it. The sentry notices it, but it just a quick zap, and then it's over. It's through the fence.
Mm-hmm.
They're not firing their laser guns and stuff at it. So it goes up the stairs. You see it buckling the stairs. It's so heavy that it's buckling the stairs. It goes up, and it goes in, and it kills Jerry. Right? No, it kills somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember who it was that it killed and why it was important that person be killed by the id monster.
I want to say it was Jerry.
I want to say it was Jerry too. But Jerry actually gets killed by the id monster later because he goes up and he tries to do the heroic thing where it gets too close to the id monster. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's right. He kills one of the crew, but yeah, you're right.
I can't remember why it is that crew member was killed and for what reason, but anyway. There's got to be a logical explanation, a reason. When you watch the movie, maybe you can figure it out. Anyway, that's the one thing that's not really clearly explained here. Because, again, for the longest time, I thought that was Jerry that got killed.
Yeah.
That makes sense because Mobius would want to kill him, for kissing his daughter without his permission. However, No, Jerry gets killed later because he goes, Jerry!
Right. Yeah. He goes. He
And he
tries to
runs
shoot
out
him.
and he gets too close to the monster, and the monster clobbers him, kills him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually lifts him up off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So the commander goes to Mobius and says, hey, this thing came out to our camp again and it killed one of my men. And Mobius is like, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Basically.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, I mean, I told you guys not to
told
come
you not to
down here, but no, you didn't listen.
And now one of your men is dead. And you can't leave yet. So they do a cast of one of the footprints. And it's this creature with a long, big ass toenail. It's a kind of a veiny claw, talon kind of thing, one-toed thing with a big claw. And they're like, how did this thing get in here and we didn't see it? Why did nobody on the crew see it? And then they have a little funeral service. And then who shows up? Mobius?
Mobius and Altera.
Morbius and Altera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Robbie, of course.
And Robbie. They have a little more tension back and forth between the captain and Morbius. And the doc really wants to plug into that machine to boost his intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell. And he basically says, look, I can't. He's trying to clear his own conscience by saying, look, I told you, and now I can't take responsibility for your men, and if anybody else gets killed, so don't come to my house blaming me. Okay. So that night, they set up the perimeter again, and they fire. They've set up guns to fire laser guns, and they've got their own hand blasters, and they've set them up to shoot whatever it is that tries to come into camp that night. They got to protect themselves. So most of the crew is awake and they're on, duty, waiting for this thing. And again, the doc goes, I'd really like to get into that Krell lab and boost my intelligence, find out what's going on here. So they say, there's something coming this way, sir. They've got a tracker thing too that says, tells them where things are. For the aliens use that later on.
Mm-hmm.
Again. So they say, yeah, it's 50 yards ahead. And like, well, we don't see anything. And they say, go ahead and fire out there. And they fire and they go, oh, it's right up at the gate now, sir. And they start to fire at it, and it starts to take shape. It's invisible. And the reflection of the laser blast when they hit it with their laser guns. Again, at this time, kids must have been freaking losing their minds in the theater to see this monster being lit up by laser fire. This is one of the coolest things you can really think of in the 1950s sci-fi movies. And in full color, too, I might add. And again, it's animated, but it looks pretty damn cool. And it looks pretty gnarly, too.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm sure there was a lot of nightmares about this thing after this movie came out. And now we realize that it is directly connected to Dr. Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
He is creating this with his mind. He's asleep. He wakes up, and you see the dials behind him are all lit up, or most of them are lit up to a certain point. They're not all lit up, but the dials have lit up more than normal there, powering this monster from his id, as he later calls it. So this is the turning point. We actually see the monster, and we see that it's connected to Dr. Morbius. He's the one that's he's indirectly controlling it. So again, some of the guys get too close, they get killed by this thing. And when he wakes up, the monster is gone. It disappears. Because then he can control it with his own mind. I guess. Not his subconscious mind, but his own mind. And he wakes up because Altera screams. She's having a nightmare, a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this scene where they're fighting this monster outside the ship. So they're like, okay, we're going to go back to his lab. We're going to go back to his place. And we're going to confront him on this and tell him what we saw. So they go back. Robbie's not going to let him in. He's been given specific instructions, keep him out. They won't keep away from the silverware. They won't keep away from the daughter.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yep.
And they zap him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But nothing happens. And then Altera gives him permission to come in. Gives him permission to come in. And she has a little commander moment there. She gives him a hug. He's like, I had a terrible nightmare. You know, some of your crew members got killed. And he goes, some of my crew members did get killed tonight by a monster that we couldn't see. It was invisible. And it's, you know, and I think your father knows what's going on here. So as they are having this moment, the doctor sneaks off to the lab. And he gets the brain boost. And they kiss. And, you know, they have another moment. Mm-hmm. Falling in love in space. Space love.
Space love, yep.
And then Robbie brings out the Doc Ostro. And he's got burns on his forehead. And he is, yeah, it doesn't look good. He's only got a few minutes left. Mm-hmm. And he says, you should see my brain now. And he explains everything. He goes, look, the Corel, they couldn't control their own subconsciouses. They couldn't control this thing that they created, this booster, created a paranormal, or not a paranormal, but
monsters from the id.
Monsters, a psychological monster from the id that manifests itself and it kills. And that's what blew out the race. That's what killed the entire race of the Krell. Mm-hmm. They couldn't control the monster from inside. And then he dies. And Dr. Morbius comes out and he immediately sees the doctor and he goes, the fool. And this is where some of the performances start to go, especially Walter Pidgeon, the performances start to go a little over the top.
Yeah.
But again, this is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be Academy Award winning material. It's a sci-fi film for, drive-in theaters. Just a really slickly high budgeted one. And they tried to do the same kind of thing with This Island Earth. And I can't remember which studio did that. I want to say Universal, but I'm not sure. But it was in full color, and again, there was a lot of there was mutant monsters that were very impressive, and it was in color. It was a lot of interesting sci-fi sets and weird things going on, but I don't think it came near to matching the success of this one. I mean, nowadays it's a classic sci-fi film from the 50s that people refer to, but I don't think it was nearly as successful as this one.
No.
So now the commander, who is not so brainy, as we've pointed out, explains, what's wrong here. Okay, why didn't you tell us that, the monster from the end, they killed off the Krell, and now this monster from the end wants to kill us, and it's probably being controlled by you, and he won't accept it. And then it's the monster from the id is coming. It's coming to kill the commander. And Morbius is awake. And the commander explains, hey, this thing is not going to just kill me. It's probably going to kill Altera too, because you're angry at her for, loving me. And he's like, no, it can't happen. No. And the monster gets closer, and the sheet metal perimeter goes up outside the windows. But yeah, the Krell lab is going to manufacture whatever power this thing needs to get through all that stuff. So it starts to break through these things like they're tinfoil. He tells Robbie, kill it. Robbie can't kill anything. And he goes haywire. Now this is a very big plot hole in this film. Okay. Robbie just blew out all of his circuits. Okay, but at the end of the movie, he's on the spaceship going back to Earth, and he's okay. So it's like, wait a minute. They only had a short amount of time to get off this planet before it self-destructed. So somehow they fixed Robbie that fast and got his big fat ass onto that ship.
Oh, maybe maybe he's smart enough to self-prepare. You never know.
Boy, that's a big if.
Yeah, I know, but
okay, all right, I'll go with it.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason that it can't kill, it's because it recognizes that the id monster is part of Morbius. It
Right.
senses it, and it can't kill humans, so.
Right. So they run to the Krell area, and shut the doors and everything. And those doors are really, really thick and solid. And it's like, there's no way this thing's gonna get through these doors. We'll just wait till daylight and then we'll get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Leave Dr. Morbius behind. So he says, you gotta realize this thing is you, okay? You're controlling this thing. And it ain't gonna stop until it gets in here. And it's gonna kill all of us probably. The thing starts beating through those big ass thick doors. And you can see all of those dials in the back start lighting up.
Mm-hmm.
So the Krell machinery is going to give it the power it needs to get through anything, any obstacle. And the doors are glowing red now. It's going to laser through those doors. And he tries to appeal to his daughter, but she's just like, sorry, Dad. He's right. Oh, I can't help it. I can't control my subconscious id. I can't remember the lines exactly, but it's really over the top. It's great. Mm-hmm. I'm my own killer. And it burns through that door, man. It's burning through. And I can't remember did he just pull a gun? Did the commander just pull his laser gun?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he realized if I kill Morbius, this is all over.
Well, I don't know if he tends to kill Morbius or if he tends, but it kind of looks like it.
Because he knows it's not going to work against the monster. They had like 50 guns on the monster before when it was at the ship, and it didn't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So and this thing, the pieces of the molten door now are falling on the floor. It's almost through. And look at that, all those dials are lit up. And it gets through the door, and Morbius tries to stop it himself. Please stop. I don't want you here anymore. Ah. And he goes down as they watch. And then you see all the dials. The power goes down. So I guess you could say he stopped the creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We don't see what happens to him. But it's got to be pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Stop.
Very dramatic. So now this is something I'm a little fuzzy on too. Is he tells them with his last breath, get off the planet. So I guess the engine's fixed. And get away from the planet by a certain time because the self-destruct has been pushed. Who pushed it? How did the self-destruct system get pushed?
Actually, I think.
Does he actually push a knob or something and I forgot it?
I forget too. I think it's like everything's just gone out of control. It's just all out of control. Yeah. I thought the commander had done something, but maybe not. Maybe it's just so overloaded now that he knows it's going to blow. Yeah.
Okay, so he says,
no. See there's the button. There's the button.
Yeah, there's the button right there. So who pushed it? I can't remember.
I want to say it's the commander. I want to say it's Adams.
So I'm thinking It was Walter
No,
Pidgeon. Maybe he fell on
it
it or
was
something.
it was Morbius. Yeah, you're
It
right.
had to be Morbius because he's the one that explains to him that's the self-destruct. It's going to go off in so many hours. You got to be away in 3 hours. You got to be so far away. And so they get on the ship and they're watching on the television screen. And Robbie is the navigator now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's how they solved the problem. This is the navigation system that's not working, and they needed that. So Robbie's the navigator now, I think, and that solves that problem. But Robbie's circuits should have all burned up anyway. They watched the planet go.
That's okay. All right. Sorry, but yeah, that's the guy who winds up getting killed. It's the navigator. That's another one of the problems. That's why
the
Robbie
navigator gets killed.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's it. But we don't
Okay,
really
all right, that
see-
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow, what if he had died while they were on the way to the planet? We have no navigator now. So they watch you go supernova. And again, you know, she puts her head on his shoulder. It's very Paul Anka.
Now, here's the thing. Okay, so there's no women on this ship, right?
Right.
There's no female crew members.
Oh, there
But
wasn't. Now there is.
But now there is. And all of a sudden, she's got like a uniform on. Like, wait, did Robbie decide, hey, you know what? She needs to blend in, so we're going to give her her own little uniform.
You know, I've got 30 minutes before we have to take off. I'm going to create a uniform for her.
Exactly.
I never noticed that even. I thought that was just her outfit. Oh, that is funny. That is funny. They gave her an outfit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, you know, Cookie had a wife that helped him cook. She died.
Yep.
So she looks to me about your size. Oh, that is funny. I never even noticed that. So, okay. Anyway, so she's wearing a suit. And that's it. They're going to get married. I'll marry us on the way home. I'm a captain. I'm the admiral. I'm the commander. And then they see the ship go off into space. The end. Weird music. Interesting music. So there's the cast, the initial cast. George Wallace was one of the crew members. Not the George Wallace. That was another George Wallace.
The bosun.
As a matter of fact, I have a list of some of the actors that played crew members of this. Jimmy Thompson, James Drury, Harry Harvey Jr., Roger McGee, Pete Miller, Morgan Jones, Richard Grant, William Boyett, and okay, you're going to want to watch the movie again now because James Best is one of the crew members.
Oh, really?
Yes. The sheriff from the Dukes of Hazzard and the lead from the Killer Shrews that we just saw a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Bless
My
you.
bad. So that's it. Fantastic Planet. That's another movie. Forbidden Planet. Please watch all of our shows. They're archived. We have over 200 episodes here for this show. If you got a favorite horror movie, monster movie, we've probably gone over it. We've probably reviewed it. If not, it's probably coming soon. And please watch Two Guys and a Gal Talking Movies. They are all archived on YouTube and Twitch as well, and Facebook on the Cosmos Creative TV channel. Roland Pruitt's Kaiju Review. They just did Shin Godzilla. And they're about to finish up their season 1 and start season 2 before you know it. A lot of good stuff. No Icing with Sandy D. Very good show. There's a show called It's Casual, hosted by Rory Penland, the man of 1,001 voices, and where he interviews people. It's kind of a poor man's David Letterman kind of thing. So yeah, got all that good stuff to watch. Dennis Tardon, shows by Dennis Tardon from Texas. A lot of good stuff to watch on the Cosmos Creative TV and the Tardon Network. So please go and see all of that good stuff. Until then, keep an eye out for those big monsters.
Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, or else you may receive more than just nightmares.